Alright, so for our first example here, we're watching Gatsby come in and taking out their, stepping up and taking out their 19. Each one of these units has their a job to do. And it's a little different than we're used to. We're used to sending the Barbarian King in with the kill squad and let him do his thing, or at least, you know, take out some royals or something like that. But this time, he's going to be used really solely just to funnel and get to, you know, Valkyries to where they need to go. I asked Gats why he brought 5 healers, because it's not the norm to use 5 healers on a queen anymore. You usually use 3 to 4, and you know, you bring the appropriate spells that you need to, either with a queen walk or a queen charge, depending on how many defenses she's going to run across. But he's going to do a queen walk, and the cool thing about this is he's going to do the queen walk in tandem with the Valkyrie raid, with the mass Valkyrie raid, and those healers are going to get confused here and there, but it's going to work out to his advantage. Sometimes they're going to heal the queen, sometimes they're going to jump off and heal the Valkyries up to full, which is going to make a huge difference in the raid and get him that 3 stars. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. He starts off automatically, and also look at the time. Right there, right on time, down to the wire. 2 jumps, 2 heals. The other one you'll see him mix up with 4 heals. Just depends how he has to get through those compartments and how quickly and everything like that. 2 poisons as well. And one thing I should also mention, adjust accordingly. Maybe you might need to trigger the clan castle depending on what it is. If it's a lava hound, go for it. Let those Valkyries tank all day for that lava hound. They're going to go ahead and hit a golem here. If it's a dragon and loons, you might want to trigger the clan castle with a hog and let the queen take care of that with her healers, because they will roast through those Valkyries in just a couple shots. So we've got the queen doing her walk up top, and then she's going to start making her way down. Now he's going to send the king in here, and his job really is just to do the funneling for the queen, make sure she walks up top, and they're also going to tank for those wall breakers. So he is done. His raid is over. He's just going to make his way through the rest of those trash buildings. But as soon as he gets done with this trash building, that collector, now he can send all those Valks in. They are, that queen is a magnet. Boom, they're taken out in one swipe, and they're going to come back and do a little bit of cleanup work. He's got the 2 jumps, 2 heals, so he's going to jump on that compartment up top and heal it as well. They run into a golem, which is no problem for the Valkyries. Don't know why they don't aggro the golem a little quicker, but they will sidestep back and take that golem out super. Look at that, already done, broken into golemites and taken out. I mean, when do you see a golem taken out that fast? That's just insane. We've got another jump to push through, and again, heal. Those Valkyries are getting super low. They'll trip a double giant bomb, and they will take that king out in 2 swipes. So they are just weapons of mass destruction. And look at that. He's got a split on the healers, and now the healers are going to go solely to that Valkyrie and just keep them up, as he has no more spells. It can't work out better to his advantage, keeping all those Valkyries up. I think there's 5 healers in there. I might have missed 1 or 2 getting taken out by an air defense or something, but this is where the only part where it gets a little squirrely is this Valkyrie is going to be super Valkyrie, but she can only do so much damage, and you got 5 healers, 4 or 5 healers that are healing her, and she can't get down fast enough to take care of that air defense. So that queen's going to step in, take it out, and once that air defense is down, we're pretty much rolling here. We do have a Tesla core here in the middle, the quad Tesla, but those Valkyries are tanking for that queen. She's going to take out this Expo. They've already taken out the Teslas down below, so everything's going according to plan, and now there's very little defenses that are going to do too much damage to these Valkyries. Well, Queen still has her ability, so hasn't even used that ability yet. That healer is still doing its thing. Going on the bottom, we've got wizards on the back end cleaning up the trash buildings to make them push through. That I think the healers will switch off on the Valkyrie just a little bit and maybe jump on that queen, but everything's going just perfectly, and we can be a little bit of patient. I would have probably used my ability by now just because panicking for the time, but wants to make sure that that queen can make it into that compartment. There uses the ability, and there still is a splash damage and a point defense that's going to be focused on her. So that Valkyrie is going to go ahead and take both of those buildings out along with the help of that archer queen. So you can experiment with it. I was really confused on, like I said, why he used 5 healers, but it was for that exact reason that he wants them to split, basically. He wants them to run into tandem, and when those Valkyries get a little bit of low health and the healers get close, they'll go ahead and split off and start healing the Valkyries and take second phase of that attack. And the Queen is really just around there to take out all the trash buildings on the outer ring and get that Queen walk done. So let's go ahead and check out another one. Alright, so we'll go ahead and check out number 25. And this one is pure 4. It's 4 heals, no jumps at all. He's got 18 Valkyries and 3 Valkyries in the core. They will just go ahead and chew through these walls like tissue paper. So starting that Queen walk with those healers again. I don't even think the healers jump off the Queen at all for the entire war, but I could be wrong. So he's got the Queen, the break in there. He's got the funnel. The Queen's going to go ahead and start doing her thing, cleaning up these buildings. And, well, it's a big deal to clean out a wizard farm, a wizard tower farm, because they just do so much splash damage when they're all by themselves. They can take out Valkyries very quickly by hitting so much. So he's got the King that's going to go ahead and do his thing and start the funneling process again, doing his walk down there. And at this point we can send the Valkyries in there. We have a golem that's being tanked by the Queen, so the Valkyries are not going to take out the golem at this point. They're going to make their way into that first compartment, and the Queen is also tanking, and the golem is going to get aggro on the Valkyries, which is a very big mistake for him because they take him out in one swipe. And then drops of poison for Queen on Queen action. So this healer does split off the Queen, and we lose the Queen actually. And it's up to the Valkyries now to go ahead and do their things with the healers healing them. So they got to make it through to this our air defense, take that out so he doesn't lose all of those healers. And we've got Tesla in the core, quad Tesla in the core, saves some of those Valkyries for the back end. Look at that in the clan castle, max Valkyries with wall breakers. We've still got a couple healers up, and those Valkyries are just tearing through this Tesla core. Even loses a couple Valkyries to that the spring traps. And we've got a heal on the bottom to make sure those max Valks live their way through. They're going to go ahead and help with that Expo. And then we've got the healers on top of those top Valkyries. We've got some reinforcements coming in from the bottom, and they're going to go ahead and start banging through the wall as well. And that last healer is going to go ahead and heal these Valkyries up, as that air defense is only really going to be a big deal to the healers and not the Valkyries whatsoever. And we've got this one completely taken care of. Also, notice for this to be effective, mass Valkyries, he held those Valkyries at the end as well. He needs to go ahead for time-wise to have back-end Valkyries with max wall breakers in the clan castle. It's a big deal. Gotta have those wall breakers open that wall for those Valks, otherwise they already start out the back end by punching walls down and taking hits by the defense, and you don't want that. So there's a great example of the first one of how you use it with 2 jumps and a heal, and then here's an alternate version of the same type of composition except no jumps and just 4 heals in there. I'm not sure what, Gats makes the decision of whether he's going to do 4 heals or 2 jumps and 2 heals. Probably could have done 2 jumps and 2 heals in this as well. I just think it depends on how much of the base he's going to be able to get and where he's going to get stuck at and if it's worth it for him. So anyway, love this strategy. I'm definitely practicing it. I'm working on it. I think it is an incredibly overpowered strategy. You don't have to have max royals in order to do that. You notice he has a level 19, a little above average. It's definitely a decent queen, but it doesn't have to be 30-30 or 25-25, and you can still get the job done with that. So anyway, well, for you, those of you that stuck around just for a little bit longer, I was able to grab one more attack with a mass Valk strategy. We're going to even call this like surgical Valks, because it's an interesting base, not a very good base design, but when you look at this, this is like a Valkyrie nightmare. So many open walls, so much open compartments. The whole thing is pretty much open except for that core. And you know, throwing Valkyries in here, they're going to go ahead and split and run all over the place. It's you know, definitely something you could do with mass Valkyries, but would be very iffy. So Gats, you know, is going to do a surgical Valks. He's going to send in certain amount of Valks in each compartment or corner or area of the base and have them pretty much converge all together. So really, really nice attack. And also, in the clan castle is complete 100% anti-Valk. Well, okay, not 100% anti-Valk, but it's a great anti-Valk clan castle because it's got 2 heirs, a wizard, and archers. And the wizard, the dragon, and the loon all do area of effect hits. So when those Valkyries clump up together, they're going to take, all of them are going to take damage from this. So Gats is going to be able to take care of this clan castle before he even deploys with a very nice strategy. He's going to use a queen walk up top, anchor up on that 9 o'clock builder hut, sends a giant in there to trip that clan castle because he wants to deal with that up front. Has 2 poisons, so they're going to go ahead and take out that giant, and then he can throw his queen down with the 5 healers. And he can drop his poisons whenever he wants to, and those loons are going to pretty much be dead by the time they get to the queen. So it's definitely a really cool strategy. Trying to think if he uses his, yeah, he doesn't even have to use his ability, so doesn't have to use rage, doesn't have to use the ability. That queen is just a boss queen. So at this point, he's going to go ahead and start his own funneling with that queen. And when it gets done with these buildings on the left-hand side here at the 9 o'clock compartment or open compartment, then he can start sending his Valks and King up at the top. So again, he's sending his King up there to just start kind of funneling, and then he sends 4 Valks on each of those compartments, and then sends another 4 or 3 Valks in to meet up with that original set of Valks. He'll send the Hogs behind to take care of some of those that are in the compartment. And he still has a bunch of Valks left over. Those Hogs are max level Hogs. He can heal up in the core here to take care of all those pesky Teslas and everything else like that. These Hogs can push through and get that done. Sends the rest of those Valks in on the bottom as the Valkyries are making their way around. That queen is doing her thing with the enemy king and still hasn't used the ability. Has 1 more heal left over, which he'll use in just a second. Those Hogs are still up, at least a few of them, and that's really pretty cool because they're going to come down here and grab some of the benefit of that heal, as well as the other Valks that were in there. And right now, it doesn't really make a difference. That queen is completely full with ability, and she could go ahead and clear out the rest of the base herself without any issue. But she'll trip a double giant bomb set there, which won't make a difference. She'll be healed back up to full before you know it. Has 4 or 5 Valks that are running down on the bottom. Has a couple Valks up top with that King and Hog. So, I mean, just completely crushes this base. That healer decides to go ahead and heal those Valkyries instead. So, yeah, this base was beyond crushed. Just a really cool example of how you can mass Valk surgically done. So you don't have to send all 18 Valks all at the same time. Just go ahead and use them kind of like you would with Hogs or Dragons or anything else like that. Very, very nice. Again, hope you took these compositions. Now you can get your 6-star Clan Wars and your 3-star attacks.